ইয়ার্ডসের বাইরে একজন
এই দুইজনই মনে হয়।
টিপ মিড উইকেট আরেকটা কই না অত ভিতরে
হ্যাঁ, পাওয়ার প্লে।
ওই তো আরেকজন কই দেখি
এই যে এটা একটা, ওইটা একটা, ওই যে ওটা
ওই যে
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ,
একজন
ডিপ ফাইন লেগ।
ক্যামেরাম্যানের
হ্যাঁ,
চোখ দেখতে পারি না
হ্যাঁ, সো ডিপ স্কোয়ার লেগ আর
হ্যাঁ
ডিপ ফাইন লেগ। First power play, 27 for 2 after 4. A slip in position. First change up, bit of a confusion. Non-striker sent back. Imon is the new bowler.
just two fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle in the power play. First 6 overs they're posted at deep backward square or deep square leg, forward of square actually, and deep fine leg, more like a deep mid wicket. So they're protecting the onside. The ball's deviating down off. Now, I'd have thought it could be a little more attacking because they're getting that bit of extra bit of bounce. Someone maybe a short cover region, more catching instead of the cover, which is almost on the 30-yard circle. Get another wicket, put the pressure back on. You've got a couple, another in the power play would be absolutely marvellous for the bowling unit.
Makes it into a volley, cracking stroke along the ground. First boundary of the bat of Akif.
Tell you what, very, very impressed with that shot. And when I came in and found out the Army and the Navy you were playing, tell you frankly, the quality of cricket that they're playing, understandably they've come to the final after from amongst 10 teams, so they are good teams, but the quality of cricket, even there, just adjusting at the last moment, walked down, saw that the length was not quite there. All he did is just open the face and guide it for a single. So good thinking and good skill sets. I see from the body language there before they started the game, they're quite energetic and effervescent. But actually going in the middle, I see some of the technical skills they're showing. It's quite impressive.
Surely, oh, hit up, was in the air, goes all the way, I think it does. First six. In fact, second six for Basha, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it is.
Oh, he's getting into his rhythm now, isn't he? And realizes that he's got to take advantage of the shot of fielders outside the 30-yard circle. And that's the area. Nobody outside 30, but there is a fielder now posted. No, there's still the two I was mentioning. They've got to make sure that it is in line. Anything wide, it's going to be punished.
Yeah, nicely driven, will be a boundary again. Guilty of over pitching is Iman and punished.
What a difference. Every time I've seen the back of the leg, they displayed, it's done well for the bowler. Every time it's pitched further up. So we're talking about the skill sets. Maybe there's something lacking there since they're not as consistent in the areas that the balls land on. Overdone?
It's 42 for 2 after 5. And time for a change in the commentary box. I'd like to invite Ahmed bin Parvez along with Yasir Rozi Faz to come on the mic.
Thank you very much. It was a privilege to be in attendance to see firsthand first 5 overs. Shamim Ashraf Chaudhary and Shamonoy Ghosh were there from the beginning, and the start for Bangladesh Navy has been pretty good. Closing on to 50 the first 5 overs, winning the toss, electing to bat first. They'll have to justify that. Misfielding results in a single as I welcome Yasif Imroz.
Thank you, Ahmed bin Parvez. It's my first time in the commentary box, so am I allowed some grace period, I would say?
No, I hope that you'll grace the microphone even in your first attempt, because even if you look at the firsts, this is the first time that Bangladesh Army and Bangladesh Navy are playing in this amateur corporate cricket tournament, the T20 version, and just in their first attempt, they're into the finals. So overpitched again. Misfielding results in a boundary. Unfortunate for Bangladesh Army, but this is what's been happening since the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's a crunch game, a final game. There is no room for error, and I think I'm always I was trying to catch my breath because it was a rollicking start to begin with. But I think with a couple of wickets, Bangladesh Army managed to pull it down. But I think these misfields and the run-out misses could hurt them at the back end of the game. So it's there is no room for error, as I said, Parvez.
Yeah, Bangladesh Navy, they scored heavily, especially in the semi-finals. They put up 171. There was a very good run chase, by the way. Unfortunately, they still managed, fortunate for Bangladesh Navy, they still managed to get the win by a margin of 12 runs. But the batting side, at least, looks pretty confident. A slight change in the field. A silly position being applied in the offside, but the batters look pretty confident here. Bashar along with Akif. So you've been very close part of Cact, and you've been part of the amateur corporate cricket tournament since its inception quite a few years ago. Maybe you could give us some bits of idea about how this tournament came about.
As we see another misfield, Parvez, as I was saying, you have to really give it all. Yes, like you were mentioning, Cact, we started 14 years ago. The T20 tournament is probably 8 years running. 8 years running strong, 14 years running strong for the 40-over version. It's really a platform to play for people. Quality cricket. We'll wait for this ball to happen.
That was a quality shot as well. He finds the gap. There's a play in the deep, but that will be cut off. Batters were thinking of a second.
Yeah, well fielded there in the deep. Yeah, as I was mentioning, I think it's a platform for people to play. If you track back to 2011 to what it's now, it's almost semi-professional. The quality of cricket, as you can see on the screen, it's almost as good as any professional cricket. Obviously, you'll see the odd misfields in here and there, but I think that's where Cact has taken the giant leap.
Another shot in the same direction. So the bowler's skipping on over pitching, and the runs are coming in the same areas, it seems.
Yeah, something for the captain to take note of, I guess. A couple of runs have come in the mid-off, long-off region, I would say. And it's quite a great start by Bangladesh Navy. I think they've been consistent. The runs are ticking along nicely. As we were mentioning in the pitch report, that anything at the range of 160 will be a very competitive total in this ground.
And their way on with that target in mind seems like Bangladesh Navy, after 6, they're 52 for 2. So we've seen the fast bowlers doing a good job. It's time for some spin. And Ifaz, you've played a little bit of spin maybe yesterday. Give us an idea about what it might happen. Would it be some turn that we're going to see?
Yeah, I think number 75 is bowling now, and if it's Shakib Al Hasan, it would definitely turn. But yeah, no, personally playing here yesterday, it was big spin. There was the spin for offer, but obviously you really have to maintain your line and length because we don't have much between the wicket and the boundary ropes here. So if you flight the ball, you pitch it in the right areas, I think you're going to get very good purchase from the wicket. That's what I have noticed yesterday. We had a 40 over game yesterday, and you'd see spinners have got bulk of the wickets, I would say.
It's really good to see some big support for both the teams. Just had a glimpse of the Navy dugout.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. Really good to see. The energy is right up there.
So right arm offie, Shorab. Another attempted direct hit from the inner circle. The fielders in the inner circle have been pretty busy.
Yeah, a lot of singles. But I would say they did really need to be a bit more disciplined. That should not have been a single.
Straight back to the bowler. Another one for Bangladesh Army. That was an important strike.
Fantastic catch there. Sheer brilliance, I would say, from the bowler. It's not easy, those ones. Hit hard, straight into his hands. We could literally hear it from here.
Absolutely thudded into his hands, but he kept his cool, took it on the first attempt, and Akif has to depart. Just have a look at that. Just bowled with quite a bit of force there. He's flighted it actually, and the return catch, batter must be disappointed.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You know, it's a bit too paced this wicket, and you really need to assess the situation quickly. The spinners might have a say here on this wicket, and it's very important for the batters to actually gain control of the situation, really assess the wicket, and not let the spinners dominate the game. If you look at the past, all the games that has happened in the past, it's nearly from here onwards where spin comes into play and kind of put the brakes on, I would say.
Yeah, a very good over spin so far. Shorab picking up a wicket in his first over. The new batter, obviously the player of the match from the semi-finals, Alimul, had a great day with both bat and ball.
Yeah, he's the skipper. Lieutenant Commander Alimul, if I remember correctly.
A bit casual on to the defense, but there was some sharp turn there.
Yeah, as we can see, it's really that spot that you need to stick to. I would say it's the corridor of uncertainty.
Goes for the big one. He will be off the mark.
That was very agricultural, I would say.
He's the captain, obviously at a loss of 3 wickets coming in at number 5, but maybe a bit too early for his liking.
Yeah, I would say so. I think he's also targeting the biggest boundary here. Yeah, well bowled there. Yeah, I would say just really tick along from now until 10. See where you end up at the end of 10 overs. I think the run rate is quite decent. I would say if you even have 7 per over or 8 per over when you're in the 10 over mark, I think in the last 10 you could really hit the long ball and set yourself a great target for your bowlers to defend.
Both teams had their own ways, but obviously in the league stage, Bangladesh Army had a thumping victory over Bangladesh Navy. It was a victory by 10 wickets, so that would be on the back of their minds as well. But the captain, Alimul from Bangladesh Navy, looked very confident when he elected to bat first after winning the toss. So they definitely had a plan. He must have been happy to win the toss.
Yeah, I might just say that this rivalry goes long back. Bangladesh Army and Navy, they're fierce competitors on the field, mates of the field. I've seen this from my childhood, so I can testify. But yeah, it looks like they've all got their game plan sorted. The toss can be a deciding factor, but it is not the end all or be all. I think Save some runs, save those boundaries, and you'll come winning. Shore of their left armor. He's got wickets under his name already. We don't see much left, not too many left armers in amateur cricket, I would say. Parvez, what would you say?
Yes, I've been to quite a few tournaments, and yes, it is a rarity, but just having a look at how professional cricket has been in Bangladesh, at least for the last 4 or 5 years, there seems to be an uprise of fast bowlers. We might be able to have a discussion on that. That's well bowled. He's been rolling his fingers on the ball. He's not giving it a lot of pace.
Might I just say, if you look at his run up and his approach to the wicket, he's shadowing Mustafizur Rahman.
Yeah, I think he has some shades of Mustafiz in him as he runs up, but he's got a wide angle that he creates. He's running in and just trying to put the balls in the right areas, mostly concentrating on that.
Another misfield here. Yeah, I think if you look at the first 5 overs, very high paced. I think that's what spin does. You slow down the game a little bit, give the batsman more chance to think. And when you slow the pace down of the game, it's always very difficult to find the momentum. And I think sometimes tie your shoelaces, slow down the game, and it might help in your cause.
Right now, they're in the need of a partnership. Takes a few steps and just defends it. Bashar had a great start, actually. He had a flying start. Now he's having to contend with trying to find some gaps, get some singles, get the scoreboard ticking.
Yeah, if I was the captain, I'd be expecting some maturity from Bashar, and that's what he's showing. He's had a really good start, and now he's trying to rotate, I would say, and really bring calm.
Another slower one, but this time anticipation was right. The ball bounces and then rolls out for another boundary.
Yeah, brilliant shot there. Those are not easy, I would say. As we can see, it's a brilliant shot by Bashar. He's really showing his skills, high quality. And a bit wayward from Saurav, I would say. Needs to bring it more stump to stump.
That was down the leg. Might have to re-bowl. Yes, the umpire confirms it. Another extra, another run. So the runs are coming. Batter tried to beat the fielder in the final leg region, up in the 30-yard circle. So it's been a decent start for Bangladesh Navy. Maybe just the wicket column could be a little bit of a concern, but the two most dependable batters on the wicket as well. So this would be a very important partnership for them.
Yeah, it's a very important phase of the game as well, I would say, for both teams.
Big appeal there. The umpire did not budge. The end of the over as well. So after 8, it's 60 for 3.
Nice weather here.
Absolutely enjoying this. When it's full-on winter, even last year, we did not feel the winter as such, but this time seems like a lot of, predictions that the summer was very hot, the winter could be cold as well. But right now is the best time, I think, for cricket season to start. It's not foggy. You can start matches on time. And today, the sun was really out there. Still there, but yeah, it's a very good environment and a very good condition, at least for cricket.
Yeah, and it's not beating down, so it's a good weather to play cricket in, I would say. We see a little bit of a pause. Saurav changing ends.
Some mind games being played maybe. He's wearing number 75, so yes, he's trying to bowl. That was well struck, very well struck, goes all the way.
That's a sixer. I think that's his strongest area. Alimul really gave it all. That was a mighty hit.
Just cleared his front foot, made room for himself, slogged it through the cow corner. Was a pretty good hit. There's a fielder stationed exactly in that position for a mistimed shot. Again goes for the same shot. The ball wasn't there. Good comeback, Shourab.
Yeah, Saurav is an offie. He's really giving him that angle to actually hit. And if you see, there's two fielders placed, one in cow corner and one mid wicket.
That's well struck again, and has he found the gap? He has. The chasing fielder has to give up another boundary. Just look at that elation. The Bangladesh Navy camp, they know these are important runs.
Yeah, crucial runs. Alimul obliging to the invitation by Saurav. Very smart placement. Even though he's got three fielders to play along on the leg side, really good shot there.
Still finding the gaps, that's the important thing. Alimul has got a good start yet again.
Smart, very smart. You got 10 runs of the over already. Now you just rotate. As I was saying, 10 overs, 80, good score.
That's a full toss. Could not take full toll of it though.
Those are hard to hit, especially if they're darted in.
That was well bowled. Was that an edge from the batter? Bowler's expressions
Suggests
seemed
so.
like.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of an edge there, and the frustration shows. But it was quite a hard take, I would say. It's not an easy wicket to keep in, and I can testify for that as well. I've seen it yesterday, so they would be hard done by it. But number 4 on the wicket column would have been good for Bangladesh Army. But on the other hand, Navy escapes through. A lucky charm.
So after 9, it's 71 for 3. Just the 1 over to go. We were discussing about what would be a good score. So they're pretty much on track to score maybe 80, around 80. Next 10 overs with wickets in hand. We've seen teams score even more than 100. Although if the spinners operate, it could be a different story.
Yeah, I think the spinners have to really do the heavy lifting here. They're going to play a huge role.
And you can get some hint about what the teams think of the wicket, especially the bowling side. If you see a fielder in slips for a spinner, you'd obviously know that they're expecting a lot of turn.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see his spots where he bowls.
We'll wait for the umpire's signal, and that's for a boundary. That was a long hop to start off. The right-handed leg spinner. The action looks like it, yes. I think it just slipped out of his hand.
Kind of a loosener, I would say. You know, the biggest...
That was full, and as
nudges
you were saying,
it for a single. As I was saying, you know, the biggest fear for a leg spinner is that short ball. Once it pitches short, it's going out the door, basically.
So it will be an important over from Sarwar. Would like to settle down into a good rhythm. Another extra.
Another extra, but I would say the extras column is not that dear. I would say it's about 4 odd, I would say, or 4 or 5 extras so far.
That's well flighted. That was definitely what he wanted to do from ball 1. And he received the respect from the batter as well. Played it well for a single.
Yeah, that's the right spot, I would say. I think even if you concede singles and over, I think that's a great achievement at this stage of the game.
Oh, that was dug out well. Was a good variation from Sarwar.
Yeah, fantastic there. I think it was a quicker one as well, a bit of a flipper, I would say. Um, can't really see the same movements here.
But he's got an unorthodox action for a leggy. Got some room there, but yeah, would be disappointed not to get a boundary.
Yeah, and I think it still has been a great over for Bangladesh Navy, especially with the boundary to start with. It is always a great advantage to have the beginning of an over. And like I was saying, 80 after 10 will be a good achievement.
Single from the last ball of the over. So after 10, it's 79. Yes, it rolled one more. It's 80 for 3 after 10. Bangladesh Navy all set to put up a competitive total. It's time for a change in the com box. We'll be inviting Shamim Ashraf Chaudhary and Shamannoy Ghosh to join us.
কত হলো 10 ওভারে
80
not bad
যেভাবে করছিলাম ওভাবেই
yeah yeah এই কালো কাপড়টা কিসের
আমি আমি বলছিলাম কাপড়টা দিতে
ওই
আমি আনাইছি
তা না
এটা
দিয়ে
জন্য
দাও
আনাইছি কিন্তু এটা টু বিগ সো বললাম যে কেটে
folded just folded কাটা দরকার কি ভাঁজ করে এখানে বিছিয়ে দাও ধরো 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 তো কেউ এখানে বিছাবো দুই তিন ভাঁজ দাও
ডাবল ফোল্ড
ডাবল 4 ফোল্ড করো
এই যে নিচেরটার সাথে
4 বার 2 বার ভাঁজ করলে হবে এটা পুরো ক্রিকেটের নেট নিয়ে আসছে প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে বাবা ভালো লম্বা হয় নাই মাঝখানে আসে নাই বসাই দাও বসাই দাও এটা একটু উঁচা করেন তো এটা একটু উঁচা করেন হ্যাঁ এই এখন দেখতে পাবো বললাম তো আমি যে কালো কাপড় আনো
আপনি বলছেন সাথে সাথে আমি বললাম মাঠের লোকটাকে তারপর দেখি যে সে ঠিকই রেখে দিয়ে গেছে
এটাও সরায় নাও এটা আরো ভালো হবে এই যে
ও নাইস
কে
ওই যে ওর আঙ্কেল
হ্যাঁ ওই যে
ওই যে
there he is
হ্যাঁ চকলেট দিয়ে গেছে doing it for some time, and the team manager of Bangladesh Navy on the right, styling his aviator, having a good chat. They're quite happy, both Bangladesh Army and Navy, as they've made it to the final. Full in the air, cracking stroke, one bounce for four.
Must have had a nice little rest. Must have had some powerful energy drinks to play with that kind of a panache. That was a really nice looking shot. Just through the line, didn't falter. Lovely follow through, perfectly timed and placed. 4 nice looking runs.
So change of ends for Nawab. He's taken 2 wickets already, but he's taken those from the other end. Now he pulls the length back. Smart move.
It's what you've got to do as a bowler. You see that every time you're over pitching, and that's been the trend right through this innings so far. In the first 10 overs, seen anything pitched up to the batter, they've taken advantage. They're prepared to come forward to the pitch of the ball and whip it away. Every time it's a back of length delivery, that is when they're slightly more conservative in their approach.
Moves across, angled in delivery yet again. Fair bit of bounce, just guided away for a single. Partnership, the importance of it showing in the middle. 31 of 24 now.
Yeah, it's been pretty good actually. Then the gaining in confidence, they're playing more attacking strokes, and even the stance. You see his posture at the stance. He's ready with the bat up like a baseball batter. He's ready to pounce on anything loose. Just settles down before the ball is bowled, and too much movement, too much. Bowler tried to just follow his movement. In the process, he's bowled it down the leg side and it's a wide. But you could see what the batter was trying to do, and he achieved it. He was trying to catch the eye of the bowler by that trigger movement forward and back. You can see that again. There he goes forward and he goes across, and the bowler says, I'm going to try and bowl it away from you. Bowls a wide.
Just angled in, and it's not the first time we've seen the batter trying to play with the bowler's mind. Bit of a chat between Nawab and Kamrul. But the partnership, Bashar has opened the innings for Bangladesh Navy. He's been there, played 22 deliveries, but it wasn't until Alimul, the Bangladesh Navy captain, came in. Commander Alimul came in and gave that maturity in the partnership. Perhaps just the captain has reinstated the fact that we need to be there in the middle overs, particularly wide.
Now he's really gone into his mind, the batter. First it was a wide down the leg side. This one's a wide of the off stump, beyond reach. That is the pressure being applied on the bowler. It's such a game when things can turn around. A couple of good deliveries will give that confidence back to the bowler. He's hit that pretty hard. It's going to hit one of the cars on the main road. It's gone over those coconut palms, and it's a mammoth 6.
Look at the shot again. Stay put in the crease, but hit with some power into the streets from the bat of Bashar.
Oh, he's really turning it on, stepping on the gas. He's right from this start of this over, he's shown to go on the attack.
Moves across yet again.
Yeah, every time there's a powerful shot, I like what the bowler is doing. He's just trying to pull the ball back a little bit, back of a length. It has paid off. But if you do it once too often, it becomes obvious to the batter. And you've got to watch out for that. The batter, initial press forward, then can go back and just pull it away.
He certainly can. And it's the trigger movement, moving across that has bothered the bowlers. Nicely guided, but straight to the field. I was looking for the single, not there, but yet again a good over for Bangladesh Navy. 14 runs off it. 94 for 3. Spin. Appeal could be close. Umpire not interested.
Yeah, he went for a wild hoik across, didn't he? Going across, not quite sure from this angle where the impact was. Down the leg, I think it just missed the line. Vociferous appeal, umpire stays unmoved. But you can feel that that is going to happen more often than not now that we're into the latter part of the game. More powerful strokes attempted, more risks being taken.
Fighter delivery was in the air for a bit, but will fall short in front of the fielder. Brac EPL Stock Brokerage Limited Amateur Corporate Cricket Tournament 24-25. Brac EPL have supported this corporate amateur cricket tournament for some time now. Beats the fielder, racing over towards the boundary, bit of a confusion, but well done by fielder Nobab, who ran in from third, and at least some useful footwork to save a couple of runs.
That's very good. The way, the commitment, the first fielder trying, then the commitment, just a foot in. He could qualify for the football team if he doesn't know well in the cricket team. Another quick run. Now the chance of a run out, and he is gone. They're trying to step on the gas, taking a few risks, and in the process, another one has perished.
Looking to take the second when it was not there. It's too close to the fielder, and it's the captain making that long walk back. He knows that they're in, they look good, the partnership was going on positively. Smooth sailing for the Navy until that. The Army reinstates the fact that we are on the ground.
Oh yeah, and that is the beauty of this game of cricket, the game we love so much, is that things to be going smoothly, and suddenly something out of the ordinary happens, and the team which was maybe a little demoralized because the batters were dominating with some good shots, suddenly they get that little bit of break. Good work in the field, and all these little things matter. A very difficult catch, run out of that type, close call, and that can just lift your spirits and bring you back in the game.
Surely can, and couldn't agree more with you. It's time and time again we keep on saying the importance of fielding, just the delivery before we saw some footwork. It's the commitment in the field that gives the support, the much needed support to the bowlers. Naim is the new batter in. He replaces Alimul, the Bangladesh Navy captain. Just been run out. Full. Hit straight off the mark.
And that's good from the point of view of the Navy, because they want the man who's got the runs under his belt to be on strike as much as possible. The new batter will take a bit of time to settle down, so eat up a few deliveries, but he did well get a run off the first ball. And that allows his partner to also just rotate the strike. This is sensible. They've lost a wicket, restabilize, regroup, and come back with powerful shots. End of that over. It's 99 for 4.
So 5 runs and a wicket of that Sarawar over. So spin from this end will continue. The last delivery of the previous over, Bashar faced a full toss ball and was looking at the square leg umpire. He was hoping for the bowler to be penalized, as he thought that the full toss was above his waistline. Nonetheless, good for Navy is that he is the set batter in, opened the batting, unbeaten on 47 of 28 at the moment. Top 2 of the 10 teams of this 8th edition of the CACT T20. Down the leg. And of course, it's powered by Brac EPL Stock Brokerage Limited.
Just going back and guiding it. Quick run taken. Good piece of work, but the throw once again could be slightly better. Maybe would hurry the batter into trying to reach his ground. In the process, he's done it quite comfortably, the non-striker. Pickup was good. The throw was not that good. Keeper did well to cover a lot of ground, make sure there are no overthrows on that occasion. He looks a big fella, ready to swing. The batter content to play it easily into the deep. They're thinking of a second run here, but the ball going too quickly into the deep to the fielder at long off, and just a single on that occasion. So this is going to be a little bit of pressure building up. Might be thinking of some big runs here.
Nicely guided, quick single. Wayward throw allows that as Bashar moves on to 49.
This final being played here at the PSC cricket ground, the police cricket ground. A big one, edge, there's a fielder coming, and there's the easiest of catches taken. Gobbled it up quite simply. He went for the big strike, got the outside edge, and paid the price.
Fifth batter makes the long walk. Naeem going for the big sweep, looking to hit hard, easy catch for the player wearing kit number 7, as short of the spinner. Gets a wicket. It's looking for power rather than timing.
Yeah, it looked as if, as he came in, I mentioned the fact he looks a big unit and he wants to hit big, but it doesn't always happen. Cricket is a great leveler, and immediately we see the reaction of that, trying to get a move on, just lost his wicket. Another batter comes in, Shamanoi, to partner the new batter. Bashar, is it? Bashar is there to partner Bashar. And just when you don't want the wicket to fall. Just very impressed with this lovely ground here. And so many times we've gone across on the road to our left going to the home of cricket in Mirpur, the Sher-e-Bangla National Stadium. And never thought there was such a lovely ground just across the palm trees to our left here. And the facilities are very nice and so good and so pleasant to be here, to be part of this wonderful arrangement by CICA. They've been doing it for many years, 17 years in the T40 format, and then 14th in the T20. As we see the first delivery to the new batter, he'll take a bit of time. T40 is the 14th edition that's going on. They're playing actually today at the BKSP. It's just weekend cricket, and to sustain this tournament, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of commitment, and a lot of money. So I must say kudos to the organizers for keeping it going for such a long period of time.
That single brings up the 50 for Bashar. He stood strong, he stood tall right from the very start. 50 of just 31 deliveries. Well played. He's taken the responsibility up and applauded by his opposition also. Ends the 13th over. Bangladesh Navy are 105 for 5.
পারভেজ একটু যে ইসেকে বলবা যে একটু গ্রাউন্ডটা একটু প্যান করে দেখাতে সো উই ক্যান টক অ্যাবাউট দিস এখনই ইন দ্য ব্রেক বলো যে আমাদের বাঁ দিক থেকে শুরু করে
Now Shourov's taken 2 wickets. The spinner from the other end. So spin from this also. Leg spinner. Again looking to hit with some power. Did not connect it as well as you'd like to. You mentioned the facility and how many times we've crossed through this road. How many times you've crossed through this road. But just to give people an idea, it's right adjacent to the PSC Convention Hall.
Yeah, it's just to our right here, and to the left is the main road leading to Mirpur 10, the crossing. And it starts from the cantonment behind us. So just to give our viewers a sense of where we are actually. If you know Dhaka, the BRT offices are just across here. A lovely place, and this nice looking ground. Very impressive. Big swing.
Particularly when Bashar's crossed the milestone, he'll be looking to hit big. Shahryar, the other batter, just 2 of 2. Pitched up in the air, catch taken at point. Number 1 bites the dust as Sarar gets his first. Shahryar.
Well, Bashar keeps on losing his partners at regular intervals, and that's not very good from the Navy's perspective. It's trying to drive down the ground, getting a thick outside part of the bat. One of those catches, we've seen quite a few of those in the air, simple for the fielder to latch on to without too much effort. But this is the problem. When you start losing wickets and you lose wickets in a heap, all the momentum that you've created with the batting is lost, and the pressure is on the one batter who scored the 50. Now what does he do? He's running out of partners. What does he do? What is going to be his approach?
It's particularly when there are just 4 wickets in hand, does not give him the freedom to just fancy a few shots against the bowlers, take his chances.
Shawana going with another about 6 overs to go, 6.2 overs to go. Bashar's got to tell himself, I've still got enough overs. If I stick around till the end, we can get those runs. I can wait for, be a little more selective with the shot making. Do not have to take any risks. But what he needs to tell his partners who come in, stay at the other end, give me support. Don't get out quickly.
Yep. Just a bit casual, allowing that single. Certainly he would love some company. Like he's begging for some company that, okay, I'm not so bad, do not leave me alone in the middle.
You just talked about that effort or lack of effort in the field we saw in the previous delivery. As a fielding unit, you just cannot afford, particularly in this format, to give away freebies, easy runs. You want to be on your toes. You know you've taken a chain of wickets in the recent past. Bowlers are dominating. You, as a fielder, you've got to give them support as part of the supporters who are here. And that is over. That's the end of the 14th, 110 for 6.
Field is spread out. The Bangladesh Navy, known for their batting prowess during the toss. The captain, Commander Alim, mentioned maybe they'll be eyeing close to 200. Just past the halfway mark with 6 overs to go. 4 wickets in hand. Oh, how did that miss?
Just that extra bit of bounce. Got an edge, I thought. He's got some part of that fielder outside calling for it. It's gone over his head and it's gone for the maximum. He's lining up. He's telling his other fielders, stay away, it's my catch. But not to be. All he could do, Asad would see it sailing over his head for another maximum.
Yeah, valiant effort. Took back and barely managed to get some fingers on it. But it's that momentum along with the elevation that took him outside the ropes as well. Round the wicket. Not a sweep. The fielder square leg not in contention for superior six. Back to back from Bashar.
Wow, Bashar is on song now. Now he's decided. Doesn't matter. I won't depend on my partners. I'll take it on myself. Swivels round. What a brilliant contact with bat and ball. It came around and went off for another super six. It's raining sixes here at the PSC ground in Dhaka. On the charge, the Navy batters. 5 overs to go after this. 122 on the board. 180 seems to be on the cards.
Flighted delivery. This time over cover. Was in the air for a bit. Reaches the ropes. 6-6-4.
Wow, that's acceleration. That is shifting into top gear. Bang, off it goes. In the slot, got the angle, got the adequate contact despite the effort from the fielders. Not to be. Another 4 runs. On the charge here, Basha.
A force short up to come over the wicket. One bounce to the fielder. Quick single taken. Proactive from Bangladesh Navy.
This is a wonderful exhibition of batting. He's royally entertaining the small crowd that have come. We see the drums beating, see the support, the bowler under pressure.
He just took the pace off. Beat the new batter Astaqim. Ends the 15th. Bangladesh Navy are 127 for 6. And time for change in the commentary box. Ahmed bin Parvez and Yasif Imrozifaz.
So the stage is set here for the final 5 overs. It's 127 for 6. Looks like a very competitive total might come on the cards for Bangladesh Navy, and a lot of credit has to be given to Bashar. 70 and he's still not out.
X factor, I would say. Brilliant innings. 70 of 40. Blistering knock, and he's still carrying the burden to put that total on the board for Navy, which they will like to defend, and they'll be comfortable to defend. We're set for the final 5, and it's going to be an exciting one.
Let's see the kind of bowlers that comes in for the final 5. Bangladesh Army definitely have set some targets for themselves. They've got some planning on board for the final 5 overs, so it's going to be the pace from this end. Still 5 wickets in hand. Slower delivery to start off. Just a single.
Yeah, I think change-ups will be very important at this stage. You know, roll your fingers on the ball, slow it down.
On the offside, square on the offside for the batter here, right-handed. Playing away from the body.
As we see a bit of a fumble. I think singles won't hurt at this stage. I think it's the big hits that will hurt. You know, even if for Navy's purpose, I'd say even if they score 6 and over from here, I think that's a pretty decent total. Over par, I would say, Joe. So we're really set for an exciting second innings, I would say.
It's a good first innings target. Make it exciting. Another roll of the wrist, and this time he hits the bullseye. The off stump rattled. The big man for Bangladesh Navy, Bashar. He has to depart. And some eerie silence there from the Bangladesh Navy contingent. Instant success here for Asad right away. Picks up a vital wicket.
Yeah, fantastic. And a timely one. But, was a brilliant knock by Bashar. If Bangladesh Navy has scored 129 on the board, I think credit goes to him. That was a master class of an innings, I would say, under the circumstances. A pressure game as well.
Absolutely, and he will have his head held high. Time to regroup for Bangladesh Army as well. Got an important breakthrough. Just look at that confidence, gaining it back. The innings is still not over, so they have a very good opportunity now to pull things back. Suddenly, from 5 wickets down, it's 7 wickets down, so would be an important spell here from Asad. It's his third over.
Yeah, I would say the tail needs to wag to really push above that par score. And I think 140 is probably par here, so anywhere the range of 150 to 160 will still be a very competitive total. But we'll have to see how far this tail can wag. Bangladesh Army just pulling things to their end at this stage.
Another slower one. Kept his front foot out of the way. Just tried to place it somewhere in the offside. Gets the single, but yeah, right now, Bangladesh Navy batters in the crease might be feeling a bit nervous. They would like to bat the full 20 overs. That would be paramount.
Yeah, very important. I think playing out the innings till the end, score as many as you can, I would say.
A catching fielder in the onside, but he goes for a wild slog. Finds the boundary. Does not need to look beautiful. As long as you're scoring those runs, it was very effective.
Yeah, always a hard shot to play over the cover region. Perfect hand-eye coordination there. You really need power to clear these boundaries here because the outfield is not in the favor of the batters, I would say. So that was a very good hit under the circumstances by Astakim.
He's taking on from where Bashar left it. Had been part of a little small partnership with Bashar, so he knows. Another well bowled delivery just within the stumps, trying to keep it very simple here, Asad.
I think that was a very good over. 8 runs off it. Under the circumstances, I think just that boundary would have hurt him, but I think it was a very well polished over. 135 for 7, Bangladesh Navy, after the end of 16 overs.
So I'm guessing Lotifur would be given the responsibility to complete his spell, so this will be his third over. Arguably the fastest among the Bangladesh Army pacers. He's got a good smooth action as well, but that was well driven. Straight to the fielder though.
Wouldn't mind a single at this stage. Lotifur, he's pretty quick. I saw a short ball peeked through the batsman's helmet. Almost, it was called a wide, I would say. So he did generate some heat. The most important thing at this stage.
Gives it onto the stumps, but the batter uses the pace pretty well there. Islam getting his first boundary. He is tall, he looks strong. The ball was in the slot just for him to pick it up through mid-wicket.
It was effortless, wasn't it? Fantastic flow of the bat. And it almost felt like he was waiting for it. I understand Lotifur's game plans is probably trying to stick to his strongest point, which is bowling quick. But I think Bangladesh Army needs to tone it down a little bit here.
Steps out, picks it up, well timed. Just one bounce to the fielder there. For a second, it seemed like the fielder was interested for the catch, but I think it was a good decision for him just to stop the boundary.
Yeah, those ones are always difficult, isn't it? Like you want to save the boundary, you want to take the catch, so you make the safer option, just letting it bounce.
It's way down the leg, not a lot of bounce as well. A very difficult take for the keeper. So a couple of runs to be added, wide as well. Extras being added here to the scorecard. It's fast approaching 150 here, Ifaz.
Yeah, this one's a pretty expensive over, I would say so far. Um, and I would say a Navy would be quite comfortable with this score on the board. Bangladesh Army has to really bat well to come victorious. Yeah, Lotifur needs to really bowl stump to stump. I would say cricket 101, back to basics.
Slightly on the shorter side, but Islam seemed prepared for that. Already picking the lengths pretty well. Both these batters look comfortable. I don't think the wicket has behaved as difficult as it was yesterday, right?
Definitely. I think the ball's coming to the bat. The bounce is quite true. It's carrying nicely. The odd ball hasn't bounced.
The batter is simply waiting for those slower balls. And the ball finds the ropes. Another boundary from Astakim this time.
As I talk about the wicket, I think Lotifur's plan is, he's got a cow corner, he's got a mid wicket and a square leg. And he's really trying to bowl that hard length, one would say. Once you err in line, it's really going to the boundary, and that's what has happened here. So maybe a bit of change of plans might help him, but this has been already a very expensive over.
You need to put trust on your premium bowlers here. Lotifur still will have another over as an option. This was an expensive one nonetheless. 13 runs already conceded. Again picks it up on the leg side, but just can't beat the inner circle. That was a good comeback. And thankfully for Lotiful, that's the end of the over. So we're very close to seeing Bangladesh Navy reaching the 150 mark here. These two putting up a very important partnership.
Yeah, 100%. I think at this level, if your tail enders can bat, it's an added advantage, and especially in this format. And with the shorter boundaries, it definitely helps the cause. The variations become so important in this format specifically. I think 148 on the board. Navy would be quite content. If I was in the Navy dugout, I'd be quite content with what I have on the board to defend.
Now the last milestone would be to bat out the 20 overs. 18 balls seems like just 18 balls, but no, sometimes if a wicket falls, suddenly the equation changes altogether. Bangladesh Army will still have a chance here to try and curtail the runs, but for that they'll need to break this partnership. Both these batters look like they got the shots in them.
Yeah, 100%. And I think this over is going to be critical.
Slower one to start off, but that's picked up pretty nicely there. A signal from the fielders. Oh, well. That's caught in the deep. Very good catch in the end. So, yeah, the commentator's curse. Another one falls for Bangladesh Navy.
I would say that was brave bowling. You're bowling that length. He's going to target the shorter boundary on the leg side. It was a miscue. And it was a well-taken catch, I would say. Under the circumstances, I think it was a good, timely wicket for Bangladesh Army. Just to save those extra runs at the death end of the innings.
Absolutely, and just looking at the kind of game that we had today, the momentum of the game kind of swinging like a pendulum. The first phase of the power play, obviously Bangladesh Navy were on top. Bangladesh Army picked up a couple of early wickets and then came back through the spinners, trying to stifle them for runs. And then Bashar giving a push through the middle overs, and in the end again a strong comeback from Bangladesh Army. So it's really been a very evenly fought contest. Looking for his third there on appeal.
Yeah, ambitious appeal. Yes, Pervez. That's a good point. I think the pendulum has swung both ways throughout the innings, and that's what we expect in a final. And we are in for a treat, I would say, in the second innings. A lot of buzz around the ground. If you guys are catching the live action, I would say come to the ground, let's get a feel of it. It's brilliant here.
Well, that's an appeal there. The umpire still unmoved. That was a close call though. Batter scamper for a single.
Yeah, I think Asad has bowled a brilliant over so far. I think he's kept honest to his line and length. He's been brave in a couple instances. If he doesn't concede too many, I would say it's an over done well.
So far he's been very good on the economical side, as well as picking up a couple of wickets. It's been very effective. Varying his pace once again, just not giving anything for the batter. Misfield, we've seen that before.
Too many of them. Yeah, that was. That should not have been a single, I would say. In the inner circle, especially in this part of the match, I think you got to be very, very strict in your inner circle.
Asad still taking his time. Fielders need to be at the correct angles. Improvisation there, walks across, not effective.
That's what I was saying. You know, Asad's got his game plan sorted, and if you see, he's stuck to the same length and line. And you really have to manufacture your shots to get him away. And that's the maturity you know, as a captain, you'd be expecting from your bowlers in this part of the match. Fantastic from Asad here. He needs to finish strong.
He's finishing strong. Just a couple of runs in this over. Final ball to end his spell. Another slower one. Did he pick it well? There are two fielders converging, but none of them can reach it. Goes all the way.
Fantastic shot under pressure here. As you can see, I think he walks a little bit across. Smacks it nicely. Good bat flow. And all the fielders could do is sail over the fence. Watch it sail over the fence, rather. A good over, spoiled by that sixer at the end. I think 156 is a very, very challenging total on the board already.
Looking at the Bangladesh Navy dugout there. Just the ball before. Seen one from their management just trying to remind the batters to play with the straight bat, and that's exactly what he did on the last ball of the over. Gets his six. Astakim is still there. Sunny has shown his hand as well. So both of them going for those big shots, just 12 balls to contend with. They'll try to maximize the number of runs.
Yeah, the skipper still sticking to Latifur here. What has he got in his bag to show? Sticking to the same plan. He's got a cow corner mid-wicket and a short mid-wicket as well, as we saw. Sticking to his strength, I would say. Bowling that hard length. Very critical over.
Absolutely make or break for Latifur. Steps out. Sounded good off the bat. Just a single, a direct hit as well. Oh, unfortunate for the fielder, must be said. These are the little things in cricket that you have to suffer for.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would say it was a brilliant throw, but concedes another run. Every run will hurt Bangladesh Army from here.
It's very unlucky. At times we've seen some pretty close calls which the batter could have been short if the ball hit the stumps. Again, the short one, flying in the air. Good decision in the end. Just falling short of the fielder. Just a single.
Yeah, I think saving boundaries are more important here than taking catches. So right call by Sarwar there.
Latifur tried to bowl onto the body of the batters. We've seen that consistently in this over. Another single.
The approach is right, Bangladesh Navy. I think you rotate. You got 4 of 4 already. Now one big hit, you make it a big over. It's quite calculated, risk-free cricket, I would say at this stage. And they've still got a couple of wickets in their bag. So, and really hit the long ball now.
Those drums beating, those trumpets playing. This is the final. Again, just over the top of the catching mid-wicket. Can't find the middle of the bat.
I think it's been a good over. He needs to finish strong again, Latifur. He's been a bit on the expensive side today, I would say. Didn't get his plans right, or maybe execution right, I would say. In the air.
Steps out in the air. Is this an opportunity? Oh, it's dropped. It's dropped. Latifur's bad luck continues, but this was a much improved over nonetheless.
A good over. I thought the fielder nearly had it. Yeah, it's that shock you feel once you hit the ground. That's what happens in the amateur level, Pervez.
Yes, the elbows hit the ground. The ball pops in and out. Unfortunate for Latifur, but he ends his spell. As we enter the final 6 balls of this Bangladesh Navy batting innings. They've done pretty well so far, and just look at that. The support they have, the noise that they're making is incredible.
Nawab will be bowling the final over, the 20th over. Yeah, single there at square leg. Shamunno alongside.
It's a pleasure, Ifaz. Down to the last 5 deliveries. 163. Par score?
I think well over par. I think 20 runs over par, I would say, on this field.
Hit straight, another single. Dealing in singles at the moment.
Yeah, I think smart cricket, you know. If you rotate in the last couple of balls, you try and hit a maximum or a boundary. I think you're well set to defend a formidable total.
Just had the pleasure of speaking to the Bangladesh Navy skipper, Mr. Alim. The short. Nicely put away. Back put of square. Reaches the 4. Beats the fielder with a despairing effort.
Yeah, he just earned in line there. it's during this time of the game where you really give it all, and edges will fly, shorter boundaries. You really can't afford to err in line here. So 168 is a stern total already, Shamunai.
Comes down the wicket. Goes aerial. Fielder turns into a spectator as it goes past his head for a maximum. Much needed one in the last over.
Fantastic hit there. See, he walks a little bit ahead to the pitch of the ball and really generates that momentum to go all the way for 6.
He's trying to overcompensate. You mentioned the line. I think it's also about the length because the previous delivery he was short. He was guilty of bowling too short on this particular delivery. He's trying to overcompensate. Bit of a shimmy from the batter. Goes to the pitch of the ball and just goes straight.
Absolutely, you just became very predictable, I would say. And I was speaking to my co-commentator Parvez, and I said, at this point of the game, we really need to bring in those slower deliveries. You need to really bring in those cutters into play. And I keep on saying this, these are very short boundaries, probably not as evident on screen. So you can't really afford to err in line here. Last couple of balls to go.
Shuffles across. Change in pace. As you mentioned, quick single taken. Good call from the non-striker.
Let's chat about the atmosphere here, Shamunai. Drums, trumpets, Bangladesh Navy. It's got full support.
Plenty of support. You can see on the edges of the boundary, it's packed. This police staff college ground here in Mirpur. And as I mentioned, had a conversation with Commander Alim, and he said, you know, somewhere around the 170 mark, and he'd be happy. Last delivery. Play and a miss. Is single going for the single. Wicketkeeper misses the stumps. They do get a single. Looking for overthrows. Not there. Not there. But a good over nonetheless to end the innings.
Yeah, I think Bangladesh, if I was in the Bangladesh Navy dugout, I'd be quite happy with this total on the board. You give your bowlers enough chance to defend. The Bangladesh Army has to really bat well, Shamunai.
Yes, they do. 16 runs of the 20th over. Beg your pardon, 14 runs in the last over. The 20th over, you mentioned Bangladesh Army would have to bat well. But there is an example set by Bangladesh Navy for them. You need one batter to score big. Just going back to Bashar's half century, the highlight of this innings.
Oh, absolutely. It was a master class of a knock under the circumstances. You know, pressure game. He got the crowd pressure here. I think Bangladesh Navy has more presence here than Bangladesh Army comparatively at this stage. And I think that was a very good knock. As we can see, 71 of 41 by Bashar. Alimul playing a little bit of a cameo there. 176 for 8 after 20 overs by Bangladesh Navy. 13 extras conceded by Bangladesh Army. Yeah, that knock of 71 of 41, Shamunai.
Sets things apart. Held things together for a long time for the Bangladesh Navy. 71 of 41 by Bashar. Then 10 by Akif, 20 by Alimul, the captain, 18 of just 15 by Astakim, and 19 of just 10, quickfire 19 by Sunny, sets them the total of 176 for 8 at the end of 20 overs. So in this Brac EPL Stock Brokerage Corporate Amateur Cricket Tournament T20 24-25 final, Bangladesh Army, they need 177, but this is how their bowling looks. Quite a few of the bowlers chipped in.
Yeah, I think some of them bowled really well. If you look at Sarowar's 3 overs, 19, you know, he conceded 6 odd and over. Latifur bowled decent, I would say as well. But you got those overs from Imon and then Sorov as well. Even though he's got a couple of wickets, but he was a bit expensive, and that's where that's knock of 71. It really sets the tone for Bangladesh Navy, and the momentum just probably shifts a little bit towards them.
A couple of wickets shared between Nawab, Asad, and Shourov. One for Sarwar. It was Nawab who got the early breakthrough. You mentioned the bowlers. Early on they seem to be bowling well, but it's the latter part of the innings where they were targeted and scored off. Hence the last column of the economy rate showing as such. But Sarwar, the most economical of them all. So in this final of this Cact Brac EPL Stock Brokerage Amateur Corporate Cricket Tournament T20, Bangladesh Army need 177 of the 20 overs to win this T20 final. Bangladesh Navy would try their best to restrict them. We'll take a short break and come back with the run chase.
We believe that it is a very possible target to chase. So I would actually come to the point that you have a previous experience of beating Bangladesh Navy, so that must give you another level of confidence. But how does it feel to be part of this tournament for the first time and already reaching the final?
Yeah, definitely. I must acknowledge our gratitude towards our respected chief of army staff and all our training team, because they have encouraged us to form this team and given us all the facilities and everything, all the I must say all the gestures and all the exposures we have received from our senior leadership. Thanks to them. Thank you very much to them. I must acknowledge their contribution, as well as we strongly believe that we can uphold the prestige of Bangladesh Army by winning this match as well.
So it has been an absolute blast so far, and best of luck for the remainder of the match, and let's hope we have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. So here I was with the captain of the Bangladesh Army, Mr. Shafkat. We'll be off for another interview very soon.
T20 finals. I've got the captain of Navy, Alimul Islam, by my side. Alim bhai, are you comfortable with what you have on the board?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable. At the early time of the day, I said that 170 to 180 will be an excellent score, and the way my bowler they will execute and they will make the army team a difficult one to chase it.
Fantastic. A lot of confidence there. You got. Let's talk about the ambiance in the field. Bangladesh Navy has a lot more people than Bangladesh Army. Are you enjoying the ambiance?
Of course, I'm enjoying the environment, the game, magnificent one.
Do you want to talk about your batter who scored 71 or 40?
Yeah, Bashar, he is one of the best batter of my team. Classic and hitting, it's a combination. The way he performed today, I'm really amazed. The team is amazed. I hope the people came to watch. Everyone enjoyed.
Fantastic. We are probably in for a really good game and go well.
Yeah, hope my bowler they will perform well and we will keep the army team a bit low. Hope for the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As we were hearing from the skipper of Bangladesh Navy, they're quite confident to defend this total.
Very good afternoon and welcome back, everyone, to Kaka's official page, Corporate Amateur Cricket Association. It's the final of the Brac EPL Stock Brokerage Amateur Corporate Cricket Tournament 24-25. It's the T20 format, final of that, where Navy won the toss, decided to have a bat first and put 176 on the board, courtesy of a half century from Bashar, who opened the batting and was in the middle for a long time. So as a result, the target is 177 for the men in green, which is the Bangladesh Army, as the two openers walk into the middle. This is Shamanay Ghosh, and it's a pleasure to be sitting alongside a good friend, Yasif Imrozi Faz.
Very dear friend of mine, Shamunnoy. It's a pleasure for me to be alongside you.
Likewise.
I've been waiting. It was a long time coming, Shamunnoy. I wanted to share the mic with you, so it's a privilege for me. So, thank you. Yes, like you were mentioning, 177 on the board. I think if I was the captain, 177 is the target. If I was the captain of Bangladesh Navy, I'd be quite content, and that's what he mentioned in the interview as well, which I conducted earlier. Tough ask for Bangladesh Army, but you never know. These games, the pendulum have swung a few times in the first part of the game, so we're in, hopefully, for a really good game.
Yes, certainly. And very kind of you, firstly, Ifaz. And just to back what you said, it's not the biggest of fields, so there would be run scoring opportunities, but at the same time, it is the final of a tournament, so it's quite a decent total. Now Riyadh on strike, Islam to bowl, first delivery, short, nicely cut away, cracking stroke, superb effort in the deep. Bashar, the hero with the bat, showing some commitment on the field, diving to save runs.
Can't stop this man, can you, Bashar? Valiant effort there in the boundary. Every run counts. You just gotta make sure that every run means something to you. Every run you defend means something to you. It's quite intense, Shamannoy.
Just open the face of the bat, will get a single now. So 3 runs on the board for Bangladesh Army. Up and running is Riyadh, and so are Bangladesh Army.
Yeah, I think it's a good start, I would say. It's only a couple of balls in, but I think common sense needs to prevail. I would say don't try and hit everything out of the park. Let's really target and get your game plans right.
Play and a miss. The slip is in position.
Yeah, that was a good ball. Tall lad. Not a big run up, but he's getting some carry.
Yeah, Faisal might have just felt that he missed out on that occasion. Waited for this one. So, back of a length again. Learned quickly, Islam, but not trying to push it too much.
Yeah, I think if you look at it, his line and length, the options for the batter is to target the longer boundary.
That bit Fuller hits straight through the gap. 4 runs. First boundary in this innings of the bat of Faisal.
Showing the wheel keeps rolling for Bangladesh Army here. Fantastic shot through mid-on. The outfield's playing quite well today, Shamona, compared to yesterday. I had first-hand experience. It wasn't as fast. Even the pitch is playing quite sporting today. So, all in all, it's been good.
Left, wide signaled. Just a tad bit late. Well, some special guests right beside us. Former Bangladesh national cricket team opener Javed Omar. Plays straight again. Quick single taken alongside retired Major Imroz Ahmed, the main man behind Corporate Amateur Cricket Association, senior journalist M.M. Kaisar in blue on the left. First over is done with, 9 without loss. And in the middle, of course, international commentator and analyst, Mr. Shamim Ashraf Chaudhry. All in good company.
Fantastic company. It's got a very heavy weight of special guests gracing the occasion. 9 runs, the first over. It's a good start, a steady start. I think the boundary that was hit by Faisal, I think those are the kind of shots you got to play here.
You mentioned the pitch and having the first-hand experience, beg your pardon, of playing here. Initially in the morning, there was some moisture underneath, so it was a tad bit wet. Whenever you touched the pitch, it felt cold, with the sun coming down on it. The understanding is that it's supposed to get better to bat on.
I would say so. However, it does tend to keep a tad low at the second half.
Bablu with the second over comes round the wicket. The angle's evident, just dying down on the keeper.
I reckon Faisal missed out here, Shamunai. Because if you look at the offside boundary for Faisal, it's the shorter boundary. Anything if you hit nicely through the middle of the bat will go to the boundary. It's a bit wayward by Bablu.
Go straight. Wings on it. First maximum of this Bangladesh Army innings from the bat of guess who? It's Faisal again.
Fantastic shot. It felt so effortless. Just felt so effortless. It was just almost a racket sort of hit, like a tennis ball hit. Clears the boundary effortlessly. Bablu needs to reconsider his plans. Here, Bangladesh Army off to a flyer already.
It's just evidence of how the pitch has gotten better to bat on. Drags the length back.
Yeah, going back to the point, I think the experience people had playing on this ground this season was that in the latter half of the innings, the ball tends to keep a little bit low. But today it's playing quite well, I would say. Even being a used wicket, it's hardly rolled in. It's played quite well, I would say.
You dragged too wide. So wide that it was difficult for the wicketkeeper to carry. Now, just to get to give our viewers some perspective. Power play, field restrictions under order, defined leg in place, and there's a deep third, which is quite a bit square as there is a slip in position, sort of standing in the second slip area. So there's that some sort of protection if he does play the late cut.
Yeah, flying slip, one would say. I think he was probably targeting shorter length, that hard length outside off stump. If he slashes, edge would carry to that flying slip. He changed his plan a little bit in the last ball. And we talk so much about the pitch, Shomono, in cricket. You know, it's a conversation that goes on and on and on, irrespective of what level.
Short. Cut in front of square. Through the gap for 4. This time from the bat of Riyadh.
If anything, this outfield has become a little bit faster than the first half, I would say. Now that shot again is nicely cut, and the shorter side of the boundary as well. Onto the left of your screen if you're viewing it. Was a good shot.
He was on top of it. And I think what's on display is, from the Bangladesh Army batters, is they're not avoiding hitting along the ground. They're not trying to hit everything aerial, even though there's a field restriction in place. I like that. Pretty expensive over so far from Bablu.
Yeah, they're not forcing the occasion. Bablu needs to finish with the dot ball.
Or a wicket. watchfully left. Ends the second over. 21 without loss. Bangladesh Army.
You could see almost the calm that goes into your dressing room once you get a flying start. 21 on the board can send a positive message to your dugout that the pitch is playing well and everything's going. At the same time, you really need to exercise caution that maybe it won't play as well when you get in. Maybe the batters are making it look much easier than it is.
Slower on drive. Happy to take the single. Bit of laps in the field. Allows the second also. Can't afford to be casual.
Yeah, it might hurt them. That extra run that you concede, it might turn out to be very critical at the end of the latter stages of the game. So yeah, fumbles are not welcomed at any levels.
Because what's been the highlight so far. I know it's just 13 deliveries bowled. It's the calm and poise with which the Bangladesh Army openers have approached the target.
Yeah, low risk cricket. Like they've got boundaries. They've taken calculated risks, punishing the bad ball. The singles are on offer. So really, you don't have to force the occasion. You just rotate and aim for a boundary every over, and you'll get closer to the target.
And yet, look at the run rate. They're not trying to force anything. Having said that, I think it's also a bit difficult for the bowlers. With the new ball, you would expect your fast bowlers to try and pitch it up and see if they have something on offer. But whenever they've tried that, in fact, in both the innings, we've seen the bowlers being punished.
As we see a single. Yeah, you're right, Chamunai. I think off the pitch, there's not much to offer. But in the air, that swing was probably not available, and I haven't seen that yesterday as well. So as a good ball, a dot as well. Yep. So I think when you keep searching for swing and you don't find it, you really got to change your plans immediately. Go to your plan B. And when you're playing in such a small ground, you need to have a few set of plans. I thought Islam is bowling okay this over.
So a few dot balls. 5 deliveries, no boundaries. Till now, from the body language of the batters, they haven't shown any signs of worry. What I'd like to see is for them to sustain that positivity. Change in field. There's a short cover in place. Looking for the single. Field is charging in. Do not allow that. Very good over bowled by Islam. Just 3 of it. 3 done. 24 without loss.
Using the power play is very important. And I think it's a steady start by Bangladesh Army. Bangladesh Navy probably pulling it back a little bit by drying up the runs. I think if you dry up the runs, you have to force the batsmen to take those risks. In a T20 game, it can change very quickly. In a couple of overs, you can see the game change completely, turn around its head.
Past the outside edge. So yeah, yet another dot ball. Required run rate just goes up and over 9 at the moment.
Yeah, it's Bablu's chance of redemption, I would say. First over went for 12. He's probably one of those key bowlers for Bangladesh Navy.
Shout! Umpire moves away. Height. Definitely height.
We'll see the replay as probably pitching outside leg as well, Shamanoi. Yeah. Quite ambitious.
Spot on, Ifa. Spot on. That is. It's the angle coming around the wicket makes it more difficult unless it's been pitched up.
Should have DRS here, Shamanoi.
Well, you're the second in command. So there's no, there's no room for you to run away with alibis.
I'm just here as a commentator today.
And trying to, plant seeds of ideas. And is this your way of getting things passed?
Well, if we get votes for DRS, we have to call the company in Australia. Might as well bring them along with me.
You should have. You should have packed them up. And perhaps help them, carry some equipments also. Should have brought them. Riyadh! Oh! Just saved. And gets 4. Lucky for the Bangladesh Army batter.
Yeah, Riyadh will take it. Bangladesh Army will take it. Moral victory for the bowler, one would say. Shorter side of the boundary, Shamunno, as you know. Once it rolls over the infield, it is a sure shot boundary. That boundary will help the cause for Bangladesh Army.
It was pitched up. It was there for the head, but not. I think he was tad bit late in going for it. Now the calm looking for the single, blocked out. Now, just to add again, particularly with Riyadh on strike, he's favored the offside. So what they've done is shifted most of the fielders to the offside. Mid-wicket region, cow corner is pretty empty. Square leg fielder is there, deep fine legs there. One of the deliveries, if you can just put it through this gap, there is an area. Oh, bounce. Superb delivery to end the over from Bablu. Steep bounce. 5 runs off this over. After 4, Bangladesh Army are 29 without loss.
Change of pads, change of luck, Shamunno.
Time will tell. Time will tell. How many flights did you take on the way to Dhaka?
A couple of them, but I had an 18 hours layover.
So you were trying to gradually bring in the luck. Huh?
Must talk as a commentator today, not as an official. But I do play for Cadets 11. We won the prestigious 40 over comp last year. It was good to meet the boys yesterday on the field. Feels good to be back after 2 years. And with Bangladesh Army and Navy playing the T20 finals, we'll have a new champion today, whoever wins.
And it's amazing. It's a great initiative. We've mentioned how the T40 format, it's just seen its journey to the 14th edition, 8th edition for the T20, the final of which you're watching live from Keka's official social media handles. Corporate Amateur Cricket Association is the CACT Brac EPL Stock Brokerage Amateur Corporate Cricket Tournament T20 final. In the air. Fielders not in contention.
I thought Bashar had a chance there. Bangladesh Navy could really do with a wicket here. The power play is so important, Shamunno. I think if Bangladesh Army can finish with 7 and over in the power play, goes for a quick single. Yeah, 7 and over in the power play, and pace their innings nicely. That's the advantage of chasing as well. I know it's a final game, and there's a lot of pressure, but you can also plan. Break it down into small passages of play, I would say.
Yeah, flicked. And coming back for the second in the gap. And exactly what we were speaking of in the last over. That there is a gap. And that is how they can complement each other. Both the batters batting a strike rate of in excess of 100. However, having said that, at the end of power play, if I'm not wrong, and if my memory serves me right, Navy were 52 for 2.
Yeah, we'll have to check that. But Navy did have a very good start, and then in the middle passages when the spinners come into play, it's really your chance to slow down the game, make the batters think harder about their game plans. And when batters think, it's always trouble. I'm speaking for myself at least.
The keeper's interested, he's excited, he's appealing for it. Umpire asks everyone to calm down. Now initially, Islam the bowler wasn't sure. We'll have a look at it.
Yeah, it's hard to read from here, but it's probably appealing for an underedge, if anything. Everyone's interested, Shamono, in final games. When one goes up, everyone goes up.
IFA's not done. Can't just get away by saying this and, just dropping words on the mic. You're not doing your job properly. You should have brought the DRS. Especially if you are going to bring it up on the mic, you should have just brought them along.
I'm being coerced into a corner here. Yeah, that's where we want to take Kaka, Shamono, to be honest. Yeah, but I must add that it didn't look like an edge. It's 5 overs done, 34 for naught.
And that calls for a change in the commentary box. It's going to be Ahmed bin Parvez along with international commentator Shamim Ashraf Chaudhary.
Thank you, Shamonoy. And Ifaz, was quite good to know that Kaka's considering the DRS maybe in any of their future tournaments. Bablu to continue as we enter passage of play where the Bangladesh Army would seem comfortable with all their wickets in hand. As I welcome on board once again Mr. Shamim Ashraf Chaudhary. How have you enjoyed the match so far?
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a revelation, to tell you frankly. Very impressed with the performance of the boys. They look like proper cricketers. It's the Army and the Navy playing in the finals. You'd feel that there'd be some shots which would be a little airy-fairy, non-professional, but they look a very well-knit unit. We saw the Navy batting first. They looked like proper batters, and even now, as you watch the bowling, you see that shot played to the merit of the ball, and that tells you that they've taken this quite seriously. And it is, as I said, a revelation. It's a pleasure enjoying this cricket, which you feel would be like exhibition cricket or picnic cricket, but it's not.
Absolutely not, and the stakes moves higher and higher as teams keep on preparing for this kind of tournaments. Still continuing with this round the wicket ploy. Bablu has done pretty well for himself. Was expensive in his first over but came back pretty strongly. Just having a look at the scorecard here, the scoreboard, not a lot of runs on the board but 10 wickets in hand. Where is the match shifting towards actually? It's pretty even Stevens right now.
Yeah, I think these 6 overs, the power play overs, are very important to get that momentum going. And the way they're going now, they should be reasonably happy. And big strike, it's going to go over that fielder. desperate effort to get back to try and grab it. But thankfully, the ball just stopped after landing on the turf. Didn't really roll on to the boundary there.
It's interesting to see kind of shots that the batters have attempted. There's been some sort of change. The Bangladesh Navy batters tried to go aerial from ball one. The Army openers seem to be more comfortable hitting it on the ground, although the last shot that was a bit aerial. This time, that's an edge and the finger goes up. The first wicket.
Very, very important breakthrough. There was a close call in the previous over. This time he tried to just open the face of the bat with the ball just holding its line outside the line of the off stump. Here you have a look at it. Just trying to guide it. Opened the face, got that little bit of a nibble and was taken quite comfortably. Good catch and good bowling. Accuracy pays off and the first wicket down.
Just in the sixth over, where we were talking about this solid opening partnership, they had to up the ante. That's where they lost their first wicket. So Bangladesh Army, they're chasing a stiff total in the end. Faisal is still in there, 22 from 20. Need to forge some partnerships here. It's a game of partnerships in the end of the day, and especially chasing a big total. I think it's massively important that you break the play into various phases, smaller phases.
আস্কিং রেটটা বলেন তো এখন থেকে আস্কিং রেটটা কত উঠে গেছে কততে ছিল প্রথম আর কত এখন হয়েছে আগে তো 8 এর 9 এর কাছাকাছি ছিল হ্যাঁ 9 একটু কম ছিল
এখন এখন আরো বাড়ছে তো না 9 উপর যাওয়ার কথা Rahat is the new batter in. First success for Bangladesh Navy. Bablu persisting with his round the wicket and already picking up a wicket here. Would want to finish strongly against the new batter.
And they've got to keep an eye on the required run rate. Initial requirement was just under 9 and over. I think it's gone up beyond 11 now. I'd imagine they're going around 6 and a bit. So we've got to keep an eye on that. At the same time, they've got to ensure they hang on to the wickets. So it's quite a delicate balancing act here for the Army batters. The Navy bowlers will be happy with that loss of the first wicket and happier than the Army because of the fact that they've managed to just restrain them in the power play overs.
The Bangladesh Army, they batted second as well in the semi-final, but they were chasing just 101 to win. So this is a totally different prospect. They won that game by 4 wickets, came into the finals. They've beaten Bangladesh Navy before in the league stage by 10 wickets. They'll have it on their side, the confidence. Ends is over well. After 6, it's 38 for 1.
6.5 অনেক বেশি 10 এর উপরে মনে হয় আমি দেখতেছি এটা বেসিক ক্যালকুলেট করে 14 ওভারে কত দরকার 139 10 তাহলে তো 10 একদম 138 বাই 40 yeah just under 10 9.8 Pervez, we're talking about the required run rate. Now it's almost 10 runs and over. But it's a funny old game, as we say. And a couple of good strikes, a big over, 15, 18 runs in the over. Immediately, that required run rate drops to comfortable sort of areas. And that's what they'll have to target. But they'll have to take into consideration that there are more fielders outside the 30-yard circle now that the power play is over.
It would also be important to have a regular rotation of strike just to minimize the number of dot balls as we see a change in bowling. Dibbly dobbly, as you would say. Very small run up, just bowls very slow but starts off with a wide.
Yeah, a bit of a loosener from the bowler Shahriar there. Don't want to do that. You want to keep it tight. You don't want to give away freebies at all. An extra run always helps. An extra delivery in the over will be beneficial to the cause of the Army batters. You have to keep it tight.
So I've been part of quite a few amateur corporate tournaments before as well, but once you have a closer look at it, you'll see these teams tend to have 2 or 3 very good bowlers, and then you have some bowlers which you can actually go and target. So if you plan properly, that could be one of the ploys for the Bangladesh Army to target the weaker bowlers.
Absolutely, Professor. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think they would have done their homework in the previous game and spotted the players who may be weak in bowling and try to go after them. Yeah, that's what they've got to do. Patience is also a key even in this format of the game. You can afford to sometimes get a little carried away, 1, 2, 3 dot balls, and you want to go for a big shot when the ball is good and you throw away your wicket. So once in a while you frustrate the bowlers, they'll bowl a bad delivery and then you can pounce on it.
Absolutely, dealing in singles right now, the Bangladesh Army batters. Goes for it big, hits it straight and in between the fielders. A welcome boundary for Bangladesh Army.
Wait for the bad ball. You're going to get it sooner or later because they're not that professional. There it is for the taking. Didn't have to move in the slot, stood his ground, whacked it away. That's a lovely strike of the ball. The timing was good. It was right, straight as an arrow.
Picking the right areas as well. There was long off, there was long on. There's not much distance between them either. Very good comeback. Excellent from the bowler.
I don't know if he's trying to impart some spin on that. It looks like a sort of military medium, if I can call it. The word military is very applicable in this game.
Absolutely. Yes, he is, and he's trying to put some, roll of the finger on the ball. Variations are important. Low full toss, not take a good toll on it, but gets a single nonetheless.
And that is over. And at the end of the 7th, moved on to 44 for 1.
So we're watching the final of Brac EPL Stock Brokerage Limited Amateur Corporate Cricket Tournament 24-25. This is the 8th edition, the T20 version of this game, organized by Cact. Final between Bangladesh Army and Bangladesh Navy, who have just started their journey with Cact. This is their first appearance, and it's an achievement for both teams to reach the final. So we will have a new champion, that's for sure. Shahryar to continue. Or is it Moinul? Goes past the bowler.
Yeah, protection in the deep, not really timing it to a nicety, and thus, despite the flow of the bat, because of the mistimed shot, it didn't quite get the gap that he was looking for. 2 fielders in the deep at long on and long off. There's also a fielder deep, well, almost a deep mid-wicket on the boundary.
That was short. Just finds the gap for a single, and having a look at the bowler, obviously he doesn't want the batters to step out. The keeper is coming in, almost treating him like a spinner.
Well, he's got a reasonably long run-up, almost up to the 30-yard circle. But the pace on the ball not really reflecting that long run-up of his.
Deception is key. Keeps on bowling on the shorter side. Fast approaching 50. Bangladesh Army still lagging behind in the run rate. As we can see, it's over 10 now.
Yeah, something's got to give here. I just feel that they'll realize they're falling behind on the required run rate and they're going to go big. It's going to be a risky shot coming, I feel. Oh, nicely tucked away. That's a proper shot. Surprised me. Got a single, but singles are not going to do. They need a boundary virtually every over.
But as long as they have the clarity of thought and they believe in their abilities, I'm pretty much sure they have a plan in mind of where they want to reach, at least at the halfway mark. Most importantly, trying to conserve wickets as we have a look at The fans sitting around. Safe shot. Very well timed. A bit of football being played there. Very good stop. Excellent fielding.
That's excellent. Look at the commitment. He had to cover about 30 yards trying to get to that ball. Bablu did exceedingly well, and the last moment just put his foot down, qualify for the Navy football team.
I bet he plays there as well. Looks like a very athletic figure. He's bowled well with the new ball.
Well, just the picture you saw there, they're not represented in the finals. The Bangladesh Air Force plane flying across as the ball is played away into the deep. So even they're not in the middle, they're having a look from up there, a bird's eye view.
They're around. The end of the over from Moinul. Not expensive. Pretty effective. After 8, it's 53 for 1. So after the two pacers, we see the two slower bowlers bowling from both sides. Still not sure whether to call them medium fast, slow medium fast. The keeper standing up again. Tussled. Gone. Another wicket. Bullseye from the bowler.
Wrong choice of shots. The ball was a good delivery. He tried to whip it away on the onside. The angled bat playing across the line. The ball held its line and hit timber. This is sensible bowling. It's not the paciest, as we mentioned. It was the accuracy that has paid off.
That's fantastic. Just hits the stumps. Delightful sight for the bowler. He celebrates. Bangladesh Navy celebrate. The second wicket down. The other opener, Faisal, goes off after a well-made 27. A slight slump in the run rate as well as fall of wickets for Bangladesh Army. We'll have to forge another partnership now. The current run rate just 6.49. Way off the required target. Shahryar picks his first in his second over.
What's his rank? Imroz. Captain is rank ki? Sakawat. Lieutenant Colonel Sakawat. Sakawat na? Shafkat. Lieutenant Colonel Shafkat.
So the captain steps in, Lieutenant Colonel Shafkat. We had a conversation with
He's
him.
not a captain. He's a lieutenant colonel.
Colonel, right? Sorry, my bad.
Captain of the team.
The captain of the team, right? Mixed up both those things together, but he has to have a clear mind, obviously. He's in a critical situation for his side. Yes, it's Lieutenant Colonel Shafkat. Again, a Yorker.
He's got a job in his hands, that's for sure. Coming in, two virtually new batters in the middle. Rahat is on 7 and Shafkat has just come in. How long does he wait before he goes for a big hit? Take a bit of time, watch what the ball is doing and just open his account. That is always so good for a batter to get the first run on the board.
Yeah, and if you can recall, before the match, he came up to you and he said, I'm going to make sure you take my name because I'm going to perform well. So he has that platform right now in front of him. The team is in a bit of a trouble, so he's having to step up. Rahat goes past again, but Just look at the field positions at long off and long on. Pretty straight, almost just behind the bowler.
But that tells you that the bowler has confidence in maintaining a tight line, so it's closer to the stumps, on or about the off stump. Can't afford to get too straight, it'll go down the leg side. The batter not quite ready there. But, Shafkat has got his work cut out, as I said. His opening batters did not give him the platform that was needed, the momentum that should have been gathered in the power play overs. And so they'll have to work hard. And this is where the risk element comes in. They'll have to chance their arm, take a few risks. If they come off, good for them. If they don't, understandably, they'll be back in the hut.
But I think the time is fast approaching for them. The risks have to be taken. Still plays a risk-free shot there. Guided for a single. Still dealing in singles, the batters. They seem comfortable doing it.
They may be comfortable, but it's not going to take them to their destination if they go meandering in this manner. Got to go for some big shots. You've got to throw caution to the wind. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but you can never die wandering. You've got to make an effort.
Slight stop and play. There's some issue with the ball. That gives us an opportunity to talk about the mindset of these players. Obviously coming from defense backgrounds, if there's one thing you'd expect from them is having a positive mindset and having a strategic mind regarding whatever task is ahead.
But two things they definitely have is discipline and physical fitness. Obviously, being in the services, you have to be super fit to even survive in the services. Add that to your discipline, which is essential. And that augurs well for particularly a game like cricket. Add skill set and mindset to that, and become a great cricketer. So normally when the cricketers play, we're talking about their mindset and the skill set. Discipline is not always shown by even professional cricketers on occasions. And fitness levels are improving over the years. But can't take it away from these guys. They're super fit.
Yeah, that's something that they naturally have. I guess that's also yet another reason why amongst the 10 teams that participated in this season, there were other teams who've played this tournament a number of times previously. But these two are the ones that reached the final, and I'm sure discipline has to do a lot with it as well. Obviously they've got the skills, we've seen that on show. Another extra run as the trumpets keep blowing. A lot of noise here. The Vuvuzelas made famous during the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. After 9, it's 57 for 2.
You're watching the monitor right down below. You spotted that it's now gone up to 10.9. So almost 11 runs and over. Things getting more and more difficult for the Bangladesh Army team. And they're going to have a couple of big overs now. Otherwise, it'll be a struggle to get to that target.
Slower bowlers doing a much better job. They've been economical, picked up a couple of wickets as well.
What a super catch that is. He tried to flick it away down the leg side. Arafat was stationed there just behind square. Or is it just in front of the umpire? And what a good catch. That was low down. It went to him quickly. And he lashed onto it. Top class. One of the best catches so far we've seen. It was a difficult one, but he made it look quite simple in the end.
By no means that was 100% opportunity. He's made good use of the half chance. This is exceptional, and this is what makes a big difference in the game. Bangladesh Navy looks comparatively more onto it. The concentration from the fielders has been exemplary. We've seen quite a few fumbles during the Bangladesh Army bowling innings. The fielders conceded quite a few runs, but here we've seen an excellent fielding effort. So 3 down. Sarwar has entered. The captain has had to depart.
He'll be disappointed after what he hoped would happen, talking to you during the break. It's not happened for his team, it's not happened for him individually. And then now they've got their backs to the wall. Whole lot of work needs to be done and a complete turnaround. It's got to be some very big overs very quickly, because almost 11 runs and over, the game slowly going away from the grip of the Army. But all credit to the boys in picture. They fielded well, they bowled well, they've taken the catches, and they are dominating now.
We're having a short break for drinks, as Bangladesh Army still requiring nearly 11.5 runs to win this game. We'll have a change in voices as well when we'll be back.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Mirpur Police Staff College cricket ground, where it's the final of the Brac EPL Stock Brokerage Limited Amateur Corporate Cricket Tournament 24-25, organized by CACA, also known as Cact. It's the final between Bangladesh Navy and Bangladesh Army, where Bangladesh Army are chasing a target of 177. Navy well batted first, and courtesy of that half century by Bashar, managed to put up a total of 176. Now game heavily tilting towards Navy, I must say, as they've managed to take up 3 wickets and slow down the run rate also with a new batter increase. And got beside me, Yasif Imrozi Faz. Welcome back.
Thank you, my friend Shamona Ghosh. I think it's becoming a bit onerous for Bangladesh Army now. It's like you said, tilting towards Bangladesh Navy. Someone has to really play a good knock here, something out of their skins to cross the finish line. Moinul's bowling well this over.
Your medium pace. I'd like to go back to the toss where Commander Alim, Bangladesh Navy captain, mentioned how they've got some variety in the bowling attack as well, but primarily took the confidence in their batting, and quite a decent total.
Yeah, Lieutenant Commander Alim, I spoke to him. He seemed very confident about his team's chances, number one. Number two, he had his clear sets of plan. Game plans are so important, irrespective of what levels you play.
Big shot. It's coming towards us all the way for a big hit. Sarar opens his account with a maximum.
What the doctor ordered Shamunnoy. As we see the replay, really a good heave towards mid wicket. Bowler Moinul shouldn't be hard done by it because he's got Fields placed here. See, he's bowling to his plans.
Full toss. Couldn't put it away. Straight to the fielder. Will feel missed out, Sarwar.
Yeah, he missed out there. After 10 overs, Bangladesh Army 63 for 3. $114 required for Bangladesh Army, 7 wickets in hand, 10 overs. Shamunnoy, what's your take in the halfway stage?
It's pretty evident. And just like to refer to some past history stats. Was just surprised to hear that in the very first encounter, Bangladesh Navy were actually defeated by Bangladesh Army by 10 wickets. It was like a setting off the alarm for the Bangladesh Navy.
Yes, that's what the skipper of Bangladesh Navy mentioned to me off the record, that that game really was a lesson for them to really pull up your socks and play your best cricket. That one's played to square leg for another single. I think Bangladesh Army is going to need a boundary every over from now on if they have to get close and cross the line.
Yeah, that's true. Down the leg will be penalized. But yeah, even though it's too early to call, but as they say, cricket is a leveler, is a great leveler. So they dominated one performance, Bangladesh Army. It wasn't a knockout, and this one's for the trophy. Big match. And a few hits, you mentioned the boundaries. If they start connecting a few and getting a few, the pressure might just get on to Bangladesh Navy.
Couple of overs can change this game. You get a couple of overs of 10 or 15 run each, then you'll see the game change again. The momentum changes to the other team. So you really have to stay switched on as we see a single towards mid-off. I don't quite mind the approach of Rahat and Sarwar here. You also got to respect the bowler. Shire is a bit slingy. He's bowling well. He's bowling to his plans.
Down on one knee, along the ground. But just like to give a bit of credit even to the 20s and 18s we saw in the Navy scorecard. They were trying to manufacture scores. It did seem like they were losing wickets at regular intervals, but it hit back straight past the bowler downtown. I think he managed to get some finger to it and slowed it down. But in the process, what happened is they've picked the run rate up and put up actually a challenging total. 11 done. Bangladesh Army are 69 for 3.
Excellent point, Shaman. I think quite often we say in T20 cricket, does a batter have the capability to hit two sixes in consecutive deliveries? That can have, all the chat about impact players, the cameos, they probably mean the most in this format out of all the formats in cricket. So excellent point there raised that, those cameos of 10s, 12s really does help the cause.
Navy skipper with the ball in hand. Hit straight. Wings deployed. And that's floored away out of the ground. The Navy skipper greeted with a 6.
Yeah, that was right in the slot. I think hit really nicely, quite effortless. Is this the momentum they need, Bangladesh Army?
Slow. Hit hard. Towards us. Pierce the gap. 4 after the 6.
Fantastic start to this over for Bangladesh Army. Alimul trying to slow the pace down here. The bat speed takes the ball outside the boundary ropes.
Full toss again, inside out. Does he find the gap? One bounce to the fielder. Now Alimul, the Navy captain, just been gently reminded by our fellow commentator Ahmed bin Parvez that was the player of the match in the semi-finals, having picked up 4 wickets. And what seems to be his strength is the variations he has.
Yeah, absolutely. A very critical player as far as Bangladesh Navy are concerned. It was a very tough semi-final, Shamonoy. There was, I think, Cadets 11 got off to a flyer. Bangladesh Navy pulled it off in the middle.
It's so slow that the batters are having to wait. But they've picked up some runs in this over already, 12. You don't want to give out a wicket to the Navy captain.
Yeah, I think I concur. I think if it's not there to hit, you just let it pass. Oh, it's a white ball. So another extra here. Yeah, absolutely. You know, if it's not there to hit, don't try and force the occasion. You've got 12 from the over. Nudge it around for another single.
Full appeal. Now the keeper's taken the catch also. And they've appealed again. Now has the square leg umpire what's he signaled? It's the wicket keeper. Good effort from him. This appeal. Umpires I think have denied all the possibilities. Makes me just wonder that if we heard 2 noises there. However, this is the end of the 12th. Bangladesh Army are 81 for 3. Current partnership 24 of 15, useful one. Needs to be better as they require 96 of 48 deliveries. 96 of 48. They have 7 wickets in hand. Previous over was a good one for the Bangladesh Army. 12-13 runs of it. Now they need to go at similar pace every over, if not more.
Yeah, they need to follow it up. I think they need 2-3 big overs here to get close to the target.
Sunny introduced into the attack. Back of a length. Good delivery.
I like the keeper standing up front. It really restricts the ability for the batsman to use the crease. Can't walk forward.
Which we saw the Navy batters do on a regular basis. He still steps forward. Takes it on. Up and it goes. Maximum.
Fantastic shot there. I love the pull shot, Shamunna. It's one of my favorites. Sails over the boundary quite easily, effortlessly. Now you got a maximum from this ball. You want another boundary in this over, ideally.
Sailor. This time towards the offside. Good effort in the field. They should be coming back for the second. Now, have they? But they've just settled for a single.
Brilliant fielding there by Bangladesh Navy. I think they've fielded so well as a unit. They've saved quite a few runs already. Should have been 2. A dot ball. It's like gold dust at this stage.
Surely, surely. Now Sarwar is comparatively the newer batter, the fresher batter. But he's picked it up. Look to be the aggressor. Take some pressure off Rahat. He's happy to give the strike back to Sarwar.
Yeah, I think they need another boundary here, Shamunai, to stay at par. I think you follow it up with another big over. Last over went for 12, if I'm not wrong. You follow it up with another 4 or a 6er, even better.
Hit straight. Fielder in contention. Takes the catch. Nicely. Nicely taken in the deep by the Navy fielder.
I always say that, whenever you have that pressure of hitting boundaries, you need to manufacture shots. It probably was there to hit. Just couldn't middle it. It was a very well taken catch at the end.
And Sunny gets a wicket. And as you rightly mentioned, it was pitched up. Perhaps intentionally. Both long on and long off were placed. I feel Sarwar just had too much to do.
See the luxury of having runs on the board. If you were 30 runs short, about 140 you were chasing, then you're already close to losing the game if you were in the Bangladesh Navy dugout. But that extra 30 odd runs really helps testing the batters, their skill set, or playing the high risk game that you put it in the slot, get your fielders into play in the boundary ropes. Let's see what happens. And that's always a luxury. That's why you got to field really well in this format specifically. There's really less chances of coming back. When you miss catches or you fumble, you give those extra runs, leak those boundaries. We have Alimul here.
Entices the batter to go for it. Enough underneath it to cross the ropes. So again, the Navy captain greeted with a 6.
Yeah, I think he's just floated it in the air. It's a tall lad batting. Another 6. It's gone for the maximum.
This time through square leg. So he's offering them lollipops, flighting them, and I'd say don't tempt it. Don't tempt them. Don't try it. Don't be overconfident. The hundreds on the board for Bangladesh Army, by the way.
Shauna, I think you go for the kill now if you were in the Bangladesh Army dugout. You target. It's in the air. Go for number 6. It's really taking on the charge.
Hat-trick of 6s. Even though I'd assume most of them are Navy supporters, I think those are Army supporters. Too full. So 3 6s, hat-trick of 6s. And actually got one of the Navy supporters off the chair also.
See how the complexion of the game changes with 3 maximums.
Surely does. Again, full toss. Again, put away. Nicely launched off the runway for another maximum.
Somebody move those cars from there. Rahat on fire here. 24 runs of the over already. Shamunna, is this the over they want to cash in?
Appeal from the Navy captain, the keeper, umpire not interested. And just to answer your question, I think they're almost dried the bank of cash in this over. 4 6s in this one. will end the over, and Army are 114 for 4.
Impact, Shamunnoy, 47 of 25. We talk about impact players in this format. Rahat really needs to stay till the end if Bangladesh Army has to cross the line.
Well, if he's in a similar mood, till the end is fine. They might not need to go full, but what's important here is the role of this man on the screen. New batter Kamrul has been there for an over but hasn't faced a single delivery. How much support can he provide Rahat and the team?
Simple cricket, I would say. Nudge those singles, and the bowler on screen, Shahryar, he's bowled 3 overs, he's conceded 18 runs, and he's been one of the pick of the bowlers, I would say, in terms of economy rate. So really, you got to target the other bowlers. If you can sort of salvage 7-8 runs from Shahryar's over, I reckon that'd be a good achievement.
Good part is, we have a match in our hands. Good for us, good for the viewers. Still doesn't take away the appeal of you bringing in DRS. Still on with it.
You don't have a memory of a goldfish, Shamunnoy. To my disadvantage.
As long as I have that excuse to pick on you, I will use it, and you know that. The Shahryar. Full toss off the back foot. Too deep extra cover. Fielders happy to give away the single.
Some people viewing it on screen might say, "Oh, that's a full toss. That should have gone." Like it's so hard to hit that dipping ball. When it's darted in, quick, dipping, it's never easy.
Outside the off, keeper couldn't take it. Allows another single, and wide signaled also.
Three runs of the over so far.
Outside the off, hit well, through the gap. That had some venom behind it. 4 runs.
Kamrul gets into the action, Shamunnoy. You asked that question. Was a fantastic shot, really clearing his stance and then smacking it over covers. Sailed to the boundary, that one.
Required run rate has reduced a bit, but still above 10. Kamrul hits to it, but along the ground will only get a single.
Yeah, I was mentioning, Shahryar has been one of the pick of the bowlers, at least in my books. If you can get 7-8 runs off his over, I think, and target the other bowlers, I think that would be a good ploy.
Full toss, pulled away. It's a maximum. You speak of 7-8, he takes 6 on 1 delivery. The final delivery of the over.
These batters are proving me wrong every minute. That's the intensity of this game, Shamunnoy. The pendulum swings again. Really a final to witness here. We're in for a treat. 14 of the over.
And it's 127 for 4 after 15. 50 more required by Bangladesh Army. It's going to be a cliffhanger going down the wire. And to entertain you all on the mic, we have Mr. Shamim Ashraf Chaudhary and Ahmed bin Parvez for the rest of the 5 overs.
So 50 to get, 5 overs in hand. We've got a game on our hands. 6 wickets yet in the basket for Bangladesh Army. This is the crunch moment and the business end of the game. So the faster bowlers coming in, the ones who've been designated for the power plays and then for the death overs. Bablu will definitely have to make best use of his final over of his spell. He's been one of the better ones for Bangladesh Navy. Although he bowls with his right hand, opts to go round the wicket, trying to create that angle for the right-handed batters. Just stand and over. That is lost in the skies.
Would you think just about 3 overs back, they're really struggling to get the runs. And the last 3 overs really turned it on. Turned on the screw, put their foot down on the accelerator, changed the gears, done everything right to get those 6s on a regular basis. And they're looking at that target. There is light at the end of the tunnel. This has been a superb comeback here by the Bangladesh Army after they were struggling to get the runs. Tremendous fight back.
I've talked about mind games. This is certainly another level from Bangladesh Army. They were quiet, picked up right at the correct moment. That was extra bounce from the bowler. Good comeback.
Well, that's a very, very precious dot ball at this stage of the game. Every dot ball so very crucial. Every dot ball now is going to exert some pressure on the batter. They're throwing caution to the wind, but what they're doing right is getting the ball in the meaty part of the bat.
Goes for it again. This time, couldn't even have his eyes onto the ball. Was too intent on hitting it hard.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you have a mindset of trying to hit everything out of the ground, you don't need to. You've got a 6 first off, then you need to just rotate the strike and the runs will come. Another 4 singles will get you 10 runs without too much effort. But 2 dot balls, now he needs to get bat on ball.
An appeal there. Disappointment for Bangladesh Navy, but a dot ball nonetheless.
Yeah, I can understand what the umpire was thinking. The ball's pitching outside the line of the leg stump. Obviously, it's not going to be out. They're very excited every time ball hits pad. The bowlers in particular and the keeper go up in unison, but that was pretty obvious that it was pitching down the leg.
If you bowl from a round the wicket angle, especially for a right-handed bowler, it's difficult to get LBWs. More likely pitches outside leg, but this time got back to ball. Is there a fielder underneath? Valiant effort. This wicket could have been critical.
Yeah, 2 fielders converging on that. Eventually one got to it, maybe and got the fingertips to it, but couldn't hold on. But it's just the 1 run, and that is crucial. They might not have got a wicket, but just restricted it to the single run.
Important from Bablu. He's one of their premium bowlers. Finishing his spell. Slower one goes down the leg. That's not good bowling from Bablu.
Last thing you wanted is a wide, and add to that the run taken. 2 runs added, 1 extra delivery to come. Not what you need at this stage of the game. You need to be meticulous, you need to be disciplined in your bowling. I can understand this tremendous pressure on the bowlers. The onslaught the batters have been onto in the last 3 or 4 overs. There might be a little bit of clouding of the mind, but hey, you've got to take it and try and bowl in a disciplined manner.
Pulled away again. Timing wasn't there. Just a single to end the over. After 16, it's 137 for 4. So it's still 40 needed from 24 balls. So 10 per over.
With 4 overs left, Pervez, you'd give it to the batting unit, and they've got 6 wickets in hand. What the Bangladesh Navy need desperately now is to get a wicket, break this partnership, which is looking very threatening. with Kamrul scoring 14 and 11 deliveries, 53 from Rahat. He's been a scintillating knock of just 26 balls. It's absolutely desperate stuff. Just what the Army needed to give them hope for achievement of that target. This is a humdinger of a match. Very enjoyable. It's been ebbing and flowing. It's keeping the spectators on their toes. And it's just fabulous to watch. It's absolutely marvelous the way this final has panned out. And I'm sure people watching on the streaming will also be enjoying it. Now look at that stance. One leg a little bit apart. It's a face-on stance to give him more leverage on the onside.
He's definitely looking for something big on the onside. That's the shorter boundary. Ball's outside off. Channel was good. The keeper could have done better. Single to start off.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the single as long as they dry out the boundaries. That's very crucial at this point in time. You've got to take into account these guys are not professionals. Despite that, the discipline and the skill sets that they've shown in this match, both the sides, have been very impressive.
Slower one. Beaten by lack of pace, Rahat. He's the one to get actually. He's on 53. He's had hit some massive sixes in this match so far.
Pressure, pressure. Bowler creating it. Just the lone run from the first two balls. What is the batter going to do? Possibly go big.
He goes big. Doesn't have the elevation. Islam has bowled really well in this match. Hasn't been among the wickets, but has proved to be a very miserly bowler.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good point. You don't always have to take the wicket. In this format, if you show some discipline, tight bowling, only dot balls given away. As I speak, he goes once again, hitting it too hard. And because of that, the timing a little awry. And because of that, it goes to the fielder. Another run. Just the 3 runs in the 4 deliveries. What an excellent comeback from this young man.
The match really swinging like a pendulum. The momentum of the game. He goes straight. Still can't beat the fielder.
After those big, big overs, this has only given away 4 runs so far from 5 deliveries. He wants to finish it with a tight, proper delivery. Don't give the opportunity for a big shot. Well, this fielder not quite ready. The umpire seeing that and stopping the bowler on his run up. And the umpiring has also been very good. Very impressive by the 2 in the middle.
It's been very professional and it's been very noisy as well. We see both sets of spectators enjoying this spectacle. That was a slower one, but picked very well. When he hits, he packs a punch. Kamrul, fist pump for him. The umpire signals for a 6.
Well, spoiled the over, didn't he? Bowled a short pitch delivery. It had hit me written all over it. And the batter obliged. And the supporters knows that how important that over boundary is. Because there are only 5 runs in the previous, 4 runs in the previous 5 balls. Ended up with a big 6. Just staying in that target of about 10 runs and over. They've got 11 in this.
It's exactly 10 needed per over right now. 30 from 3. After 17, it's 147 for 4.
This is setting up to be a thriller here at the Police Staff College ground. Lovely ground, lot of crowd enjoying the cricket, and it's been wonderful from both the teams. Humdinger of a match, going to the wire, all to play for both the teams.
That was full and onto the stumps, but the short fine leg just has a failed chase there. Boundary to start off.
Rahat stamping his authority. Look at this stroke. He's just hit that with gusto. Maybe not from the middle part of the bat, but the flourish of the bat and the speed of the bat. Doesn't matter where it hit the ball. Took it to the boundary.
He is the wicket to get. 59 of 30. Almost playing a match-winning knock for Bangladesh Army here. Calculating, locating the fielders. It's going to be very critical. The next delivery from Moinul. He's taking his time.
Yeah, understandably. Boundary of the first ball, immediate pressure on the bowler.
That's well bowled. Restricts them to a single.
Lot of shouting, lot of no, yes, no, misunderstanding. But in the end, they manage it. All the shouting from one of the partners made sure that his partner didn't go for the second run. Could have been disaster. But that was a brave delivery by the bowler. After being hit for 4, he bowled a Yorker. And you know, Pervez, a Yorker 6 inches over, 6 inches under. 6 inches over, it's a low full toss. 6 inches under, it's in the slot. Very risky.
High stakes calls for high risk, and this time it pays off for Kamrul. Full toss dispatched.
There's dancing amongst the Bangladesh Army supporters, and why not? They're really charging towards that win here with a lot of authority down the leg side, just helping the ball on its way. Swivel round, big pickup, big 6.
That's an awesome shot from the batter. Kamrul on to 27. Moinul really has to refocus. Conceding a boundary from the first ball really puts you off. It's a hard way back from there. 11 already from just 3 balls. This could be the over that seals it for Bangladesh Army. Stands his ground inside out onto his teammates. Lovely from Kamrul.
Wow, this is belligerent hitting. This is tremendous power that is shown. The bowler in complete disarray, doesn't know where to bowl to him. Doesn't matter where he bowls, he managed to get a big part of the bat. And look at that. Great strike all the way. Inching towards that victory, which seemed so distant in the first 10 overs. But what a tremendous comeback here by some great batting.
Goes for it once again, the shorter boundary. Dispatch for another massive 6.
He is in a hurry. He must be hungry. Must be hungry for lunch. He wants to finish it quickly and win it convincingly. Another powerful shot. He stands his ground. It's not the easiest shot to play, the inside-out shot. But despite that, it goes over, sails away like a bird in the sky. This is marvelous show of batting from both these batters.
Kamrul has risen to the occasion. 37 of 17. Almost mirroring Rahat's effort there, batting at more than 200 strike rate. They're inching closer now. The finish line is very close for Bangladesh Army. But it's not over till it's over. Moinul will have to finish this over, and definitely kind of shots that they've played. There has been some changes in the balls. Just dot from the last over there, but was it too little too late from Moinul? The end of the 18th, 168 for 4, so 9 needed from the final 12 balls of this final.
এখানে ভুল দিয়ে দিচ্ছে সমন্বয় 169 হবে 168 দিচ্ছে আগের ইনিংসের 169 আপনি বলো this is your job to tell them অফিশিয়াল স্কোরারকে মানতে হবে তো। এইটা মানতে হবে, এটা মানতে হবে। 169 করো, করে দাও। কনফিউশন হবে এক রানের জন্য। যেটা করো কারেক্ট করো তাড়াতাড়ি। There we go again, straight to the fielder. At least some glimmer of hope. Very distant. A wicket falls. One of the on-song batters has to walk back. Couldn't finish it up, but he's done his job. He's getting a warm round of applause from the supporters because really stepped on the gas and took them very, very close to that victory and the title.
This is what you call a nail biter. Bangladesh Army almost making it a one-sided affair with the brutal hitting that they've done, especially in the last few overs. Could this wicket be an opening for Bangladesh Navy? That's the question to be answered. Both teams displayed very good cricket overall. Slower delivery. Rolled his fingers on it. Is that a boundary? We'll have to have a look at it. Fielder throws it back though. The umpire signals for a boundary. Yes, it is a 4. So the Bangladesh Army actually inching very close to a victory.
Yeah, they've made it look easy when the going was tough. And that is very creditable. Because whenever you're down and under pressure, wow, it's another one. And it's going to find its way to the boundary. And the crowd comes in. Those are the winning runs. Brilliant show by Bangladesh Army. They win it. They win the title.
Look at the celebration. First time into the final and champions. Right away. Teammates, supporters, everyone comes in. Has been a result of a lot of hard work and preparation here for the Bangladesh Army. It was supposed to be a nail biter, but they finished it off in style. The target was almost 9 per over and they've made it in the end with more than an over in hand. Congratulations to Bangladesh Army. They've won this Amateur Corporate Cricket Tournament 23-24 T20 edition. We've had a great match with a great ending. The quality of cricket has been very good.
Absolutely. As I said earlier, it's been very, very impressive. The quality of cricket, you say, in terms of the approach, the skill sets, and the technique that were shown. Because you've got to remind our viewers that these are not professional cricketers, just part-timers, even didn't have too much time to prepare for this tournament. And the quality and the style of cricket has been top class, very impressive. Close match. It, as you said, moved like a pendulum, toing and froing, but eventually the day belongs to the Bangladesh Army, who, despite being with the backs to the wall at one stage, have really made a tremendous comeback. Some belligerent, powerful hitting by 3 of their batters in particular, and eventually made it look quite easy.
So as we see players having their final episode of congratulations amongst the teams, it's been a game played in good spirits. We'll obviously have the entire presentation ceremony coming later up. What a game of cricket.
স্কোরকার্ডটা দিতে বলো সমন্বয় সমন্বয় স্কোরকার্ডটা দিতে বলো Another final ending here in the Cact League, which is really an achievement by the organizers in having 2 formats of the game, the T20 format and the T40 format. T20 format being played. This is what's transpired. The match summary 176 for 8 posted by Bangladesh Navy seemed to be a good score at that point in time, particularly Bashar scoring 71 of 41 balls. And wicket shared between Nawab, Asad Shorav and Sarwar. And then Bangladesh Army, who in the first 10 overs looked to be struggling, and then suddenly a burst of energy, particularly from Faisal early on, and then Kamrul joining in with Rahat, who has been the mainstay of the innings, have resulted in quite a convincing win. Celebrations going on in the middle, and why not? But a lot of credit has to be given to both the teams for giving us an entertaining match.
Absolute entertainment, absolute scenes here. The Police Staff College cricket ground. Batting card of the Bangladesh Army, the way they made the run chase, the openers were stable, they were quiet but resilient, and later on the onslaught came in. Rahat coming to bat at number 3, 60 from 32, aptly supported from Kamrul, packed a punch, 18 balls played, 37 scored, 12 extras didn't help for Bangladesh Navy, 9 balls in hand, Bangladesh Army wins the match by 5 wickets. 6 bowlers were used. Each of them picked a wicket except for Arafat Islam, but none of them standing out. And maybe that has been the reason for the downfall for Bangladesh Navy. They've made it to the finals, narrowly missed out on the championship.
Yeah, the bowlers did well, as I mentioned in the first half for the Bangladesh Navy. But once the onslaught started, really could not cope with the tremendous amount of pressure that was created by the batters. Look at those vuvuzelas going, and the winning team taking a victory lap here. The Army and also supporters. But this has been a game played in good spirit. And that is the most important thing for cricket, because cricket is a gentleman's game. Cricket is a game to be enjoyed by everyone. And we've seen evidence of that here at the PSC ground in Dhaka.
So the presentation will be coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere.